Met a girl, thought she was grand. Fell in love, found out firsthand. Then I started to realize. Oh, hi, Mark. Welcome to another episode of Ranking the Studio Albums by. This episode is going to be Puddle of Mud. You guessed it. You didn't already guess. That's what we're doing. I'm Chris Norwood. I'm on a journey to hear every song ever recorded in all of time and history, and I have unfortunately had the I don't want to knock them too bad, but I have listened to the entire discography of Puddle of Mud, and I'm here to report on it for you guys today. So we're going to be ranking their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 studio albums. This is a band that people love to hate and they love to make fun of, and we've all had a good laugh at the Nirvana cover. I've watched that video at least 20 times. It's hilarious, and I have heard reasons, why that performance was the way it was. I have seen Puddle of Mud in concert twice. The first time was in 2005. They opened for Kid Rock, and they were really fantastic. They were really performed well. They did some really great covers. They did some really great original songs, and the singing and the guitar playing and the instrumentation was really great. And then I saw them a few years later. I want to say maybe 5 years later. Maybe 2010, 10 or 11, somewhere in there. And it was a train wreck. It was Wes Scantlin was falling all over the stage. He had his son playing guitar, and his son was like, 10 years old, and it was horrible. It was just one of the worst concerts ever. He was so drunk he couldn't perform. Supposedly he's all cleaned up his act and is doing better now. So if Wes is doing better, that's great. But this band has just been through. Everyone has left this band because of his obnoxiousity. Let's just jump right into the albums, shall we? So I first heard about Puddle of Mud when their first major label album came out. What was it? Come Clean. Yeah, I first heard about them when Come Clean came out. That's a tongue twister right there for you. Bonus track. And it was, I initially, when I first heard the band, I thought, okay, this is interesting. This could be a good band coming out here in the the early 2000s. So I started when they we're just going to get right down to the worst of the worst. Coming in very bottom is going to be 2003's Life on Display. I ran out and bought this thinking it was going to be much better than it was. Really hard listen. Really hard listen. There's not much here in terms of good songs. Even the length of the track seems to just sort of lack creativity, in my opinion. Before the album came out, I did download Cloud 9 on iTunes, which I really enjoyed Cloud 9. Let's see what else is on here. Spin You Around, I believe I heard before the album came out. And Away From Me, which was the lead single. Heel Over Head was also released at some point. Think is kind of okay. But the rest of these songs are just bleh. There's just not really anything here. Even so, the singles were Away From Me, Heel Over Head, and Spin You Around. And honestly, they're so generic it's just like the epitome of generic 90s or 2000s rock. I actually had a physical copy of Life on Display, their 2003 record, and I got rid of it. It was not worthy to go on my shelf back there. It was absolute disaster of a record. Let's see how well it performed though. So they did have 3 singles. Critical reception, that's promotion, critical reception is not good. So they got 37 out of 100 on Metacritic. AllMusic gave them a 2, B minus, 2 stars, 1 star from Rolling Stone. Tired, Hookless Tunes. It's a skull banging numbness. Yeah, that's not good. It's absolutely not good. I don't think any of these songs did great. And it's just like the album art was bad, the booklet was bad, the packaging was bad. Absolutely nothing memorable on 2003's Life on Display. Singing was bad, the instrumentation was forgettable. Whole thing was just a train wreck, in my opinion. Really terrible sophomore album. I'm kind of getting pumped up in this video because I haven't had a chance on my channel yet to be extremely critical of a band. And Puddle of Mud is, I like Puddle of Mud, but they are an easy target. When they're good, they're good. And when they're bad, they're so bad, it's at least entertaining. Life on Display just wasn't even so bad it was entertaining. It just wasn't entertaining, period. So let's just get away from that horrible piece of garbage right there and move on to some better Puddle of Mud albums, shall we? Okay, coming in next, we have their latest album, Welcome to Galiana? What in the world? Like, these guys might be, these guys are contenders for the worst album titles of all time. Yeah, these album titles suck. I don't understand them. They don't seem to be deep or contemplative or thoughtful. They just seem like random words that Wes Scantlin and company just kind of threw on some random pictures, and that's that. Because who cares? I often find myself wondering if there's anybody in this world that Puddle of Mud is their favorite band. Is there anybody out there that's just, oh, Puddle of Mud's the greatest rock band that ever existed? I don't think there is. Welcome to Galiana just continues the string of pretty garbage records that this band has been putting out. I'm looking at the track. Wow. So there were 3 singles released from Welcome to Galiana, Uh-Oh, You Don't Know, and Sunshine. You Don't Know and Sunshine were absolutely forgettable this year. Absolutely nothing there as far as substance. Nothing there as instrumental or vocal prowess. Absolutely nothing there. The lead single, Uh-Oh, and its really crappy looking music video, it was entertaining. So Uh-Oh was okay. It kind of felt like it was taking some of what they did with She Hates Me and maybe trying to get some plays out of that by going back, mining the well, as it were. But other than Uh-Oh, just a joke song, again, just absolutely nothing on Welcome to Galiana. What is Galiana? And what does it have to do with any of the lyrics on this album? There's no themes on the album, So what in the world is Galvania? And who is welcoming who to Galvania? Wes, what is this album about? Have no earthly idea, have no Galvanian idea. Coming in next. And the album art. I don't think these guys have any good album art at all. Look at this garbage. This is Volume 4, Songs in the Key of Love and Hate from 2009. Now this one does have some decent tunes on it. Decent. There's nothing great. And maybe there's some good songs on here. Maybe. Let's see. Stoned and Spaceship were okay. A little bit weird, but okay. And everything else is really stupid, like the title of the last song called Hooky. Yeah, it's a post-grunge alternative rock record. Come on, man. What in the world? So those singles were okay. Everything else is absolute filler. I have no earthly desire to go back and revisit Volume 4, Songs in the Key of Love and Hate. And again, these album titles, the song titles, the artwork, it's all just kind of cheap and thrown together. It's almost as if Puddle of Mud just don't care about anything at all. And it's just, it's to the point where it's off-putting. It just seems like this band is just absolutely does not care about their fans, doesn't care about their music, doesn't care about their lyrics. Everything is mediocre and really bad. Oh man, this is getting me angry. So angry and mad. Those chicken nuggets were good. I had chicken nuggets for dinner. Please like and subscribe for more facts like that. Still got some battery life going. We are going to keep talking about Puddle of Mud. Now, unfortunately, because I have been so critical of this band, and I really don't like much of what they have done. My second favorite, we've got two more records to talk about. My second favorite Puddle of Mud record, I put meh. So my second favorite by them is a meh, it's okay. Absolutely have no desire. Oh my gosh. And this is, so ugly. Famous from 2007. Now this one does have, it's got, let's see how many songs are on here. We've got 11 songs, and 5 of them are okay. You got So Famous, blah 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 blah. Living on Borrowed Time is okay. I hear it when I'm walking around stores sometime. It's a canned music track, and it's okay. Psycho, it's kind of one of those really catchy joke songs. Maybe I'm the one, maybe you're the one, nah, blah 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 blah, Psycho. Whoa, We Don't Have to Look Back Now was actually a pretty solid single. And looking here, it was written by the guys from Eve 6, which is really interesting. I've done some videos about Eve 6 in the past. A really great band. Not sure how they got hooked up with Puddle of Mud. Maybe we'll come back to that in a minute. Moonshine's forgettable. Thinking About You's forgettable. Merry-Go-Round is I'm So Sure. Radiate. If I Could Love You. There's a bunch of B-sides, Target, bonus tracks. Let's find out about the Eve 6 connection. It charted. It charted a little bit in New Zealand. Why did they get Eve 6 to write a Puddle of Mud song? That's really interesting. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, this thing is, I mean, ugh. The guys on the front album cover, how pathetic is that? That's like the worst kind of album cover. No, there's no good albums like that. No, well, the music can be good, but an album cover with just guys standing around, especially these guys, what in the world? Who? There's really not much good about Puddle of Mud at all. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 albums, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. They maybe, out of their entire discography, they've got maybe 15 passable songs, and maybe 3 or 4 really great songs. It's really just, I hope that maybe as time goes by with a clean and sober Wes Scantlin, maybe we can get some kind of substance out of this band. But after 5 albums like we've had, I don't see us ever getting a really great Puddle of Mud record anytime soon or ever. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I think, Wes Scantlin is the only member. Everybody else is just a rotating cast of characters because they can't stand him for longer than a year or two. They just walk off stage because he's such a jerk and such a mess. But you know what? Let's end on a high note, shall we? We're ranking the studio albums, and here we are at the end where we've got the best album. And this one I have not had a physical copy of in my life, I believe. I did download it, probably from iTunes or somewhere just as credible back in the day, from 2001. Doing a lot of downloading back in 2001. Were you guys like just downloading? I was a downloading idiot. Downloading from every website. Oh man. My dad was just taking off those programs just as fast as I could put them on his computer. Those were the days, man. The early 2000s. Coming in first, really the only good Puddle of Mud record out there, and it's not great by any means, but it's good. It's you can almost listen to this whole thing and not be mad that you wasted your time. Coming in first is going to be their debut, major label debut, Come Clean, with the little boy again. It says something about your band when your best album cover features a person with their pants down urinating on a tree. That's the greatest visual that your band has given us, and it's garbage. You just can't make a good album cover. What is wrong with you guys, man? What is wrong with Puddle of Mud? And who out there thinks that Puddle of Mud is the greatest rock band of all time? I want to talk to you because, I won't make fun of you because, we've all got favorites. And, wow, but this is the worst, best album I've ever ranked. This is so bad. Okay, so this is a better album from Puddle of Mud. The album kicks off with Control. I need to feel you. You need to feel me. You're not the one for me, no. One of the earlier songs that I heard by Puddle of Mud. I remember I was watching a lot of MTV2, the hard rock MTV, and Control just got played and played and played and played. Drowning Pool and System of a Down, all that, like that new metal was huge at this time, and people I remember looking back, people that now make fun of Puddle of Mud thought they were going to be like the next big hard rock band. People thought that Puddle of Mud and Drowning Pool, they thought they were going to be like the next Metallica or the next Megadeth. And now I would love to talk to some of my high school buddies, 19 years later, and look at this train wreck of a band. Because Control was awesome. It was an awesome hard rock tune, and we just didn't know what kind of band we were dealing with when we heard Control for the first time. Drift and Die was another pretty good, okay song. In 2001, I was in 10th, 11th grade, and I liked those tunes, so I wanted to download this album, and I did. Out of my head, kind of forgettable. Everything by this band is like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. They just don't seem to really deviate. It's like bad album art, 12 songs that are all 4 minutes long. There's 1 or 2 goofy joke songs, and then there's just a bunch of filler. That's every Puddle of Mud album is like that. This one's just got less filler than the other ones. So you got Control, Drift and Die, a bunch of garbage. Nobody Told Me is okay. Blurry was a big single, and it's pretty good. Although I gotta say, Blurry definitely got overplayed. It just played on repeat ad nauseum. Infinity in 2002, it just played. It was either that or Creed. You just heard Blurry or Creed. Like Higher or Blurry. You were either high or blurry the entire freaking year. It felt like the entire decade. So Blurry is a great song. Really emotional. Really got into the video. I could have stood, seeing it about 8,352 times less than I did. It's one of their greatest songs, and I never want to hear it again because it got played so much. But it didn't get played as much as the song following it. Coming in at the 6th track, right in the middle of this record, She Hates Me! Now, I know I can hear other people. I can hear other music reviewers and album rankers and other just people in general talking about how horrible She Hates Me is. I enjoyed it. I liked the song. It was funny. It was catchy. It was relatable. My parents loved it. But then when they heard, because like you hear the edited version and you don't quite hear what he's saying. There are some versions where there's just like, she hates me. And then there's some where it's like, she hates me. So they did have some really good, clean versions. Good, clean, fun versions where you don't hear it. But then I think, me and my mom were watching the video and she's like, what is, oh. She effing hates me. No. I tried too hard and she told my feelings like I had none. And rip him away. La 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 la. Russ hates me. Thought a barrel. Barrel. Yeah. I really like that song. So you got Control, Drift and Die, Blurry, She Hates Me. Nobody Told Me's okay, but Bring Me Down. Bring Me Down is the 5th song on here that's pretty great. It's their best album cut for sure. Bring Me Down is really the only deep cut by Puddle of Mud that is worth finding in their entire miserable discography. Never Change, Basement, Said, and Bleep It All Away are alright. On the deluxe edition with the bonus tracks, you have Abrasive and an acoustic version of Control, which is okay. So yeah, that's been ranking the studio albums by Puddle of Mud. I don't own any of them because they're all pretty disastrous, except for Come Clean from 2001, which has 6 songs out of 11 that are not bad. She Hates Me is definitely a highlight for me. Blurry, Control, Drift and Die, Bring Me Down. Yeah, like I said, Puddle of Mud, they're on my list, but they're really far down. Yeah, I wish them the best of luck in their future. I hope maybe they kind of solidify a lineup. Maybe that'll help the quality of the albums if Wes gets some decent musicians with him, and if they can kind of wrangle him into maybe, getting a little bit of direction for the band, maybe decide where they're sitting at musically. Like, they started out as kind of a heavy hard rock group, and then I think due to the success of She Hates Me, they kind of went into the goofy song direction, which is fine because I liked She Hates Me. She effing hates me. But, yeah, she definitely hates me. There's a reason I've been single for like 2 years. But yeah, I feel like Puddle of Mud does have a little bit of potential. And like I said, they're in my favorites. They're just kind of one of my least favorites. Yeah, like I said, I wish them the best. Hope that maybe like volume whatever songs in the key of Galvania and Coming Famous. I don't know. Maybe that'll be good. I don't know. They're a band. I will keep tabs on them. If I see a new single by Puddle of Mud, I'll check it out. If I see a new record by them, I'll listen to it. But overall, this album, this band, it's not good. Like I said, if you want to check out Puddle of Mud, if you want to give them a listen, check out Come Clean, parts of Famous and Volume 4, the one single from Welcome to Galvania, and a few smatterings of decent music on Life on Display. So, every album's got, maybe one good, the worst album has like one good song here, one good song there. But yeah, they're not terrible. They're not the worst band in the world. They're Puddle of Mud. Like and subscribe.